Dead ass.
Ben Simmons, like that name alone, there's 12,000 directions we could go when we talk about Ben Simmons. But two questions. First, is his time in Philly over? Will Ben Simmons play another game in a Sixers uniform?
He'll play half a season.
Okay.
At most. He'll play by trade deadline, he'd be out of there.
What do you think, Josh?
I agree with Andrew.
I feel like they're going to take their time to shop him because there's still value. Not as much value, but he's young. There's still value. Some teams that want to take a gamble on him can take him. So I can see Philly taking their time to move him. But on the same time, like the same type of timing, Philly fans are ruthless. Like that's notoriously about Philadelphia fans. They are ruthless. They're passionate. They're not accepting any basketball player who's going to willingly cost them the game. Not in the terms of defensively, but offensively. Like the reluctance to shoot. I feel like I say this every time you come on the pod. That shit, like the fans are frustrated. They waited 3-4 years. Embiid sounds like he's frustrated. Doc doesn't know like what this guy, like what his potential could really be. So I feel like the writing's on the wall in Philadelphia. Like you got to right the ship and go somewhere else.
In my personal opinion, I don't think it's possible for him to play another game as a Sixer. After what Embiid said on that final game, after what Doc said on that final game, how do you ever walk back in the locker room and like even pretend to be cool with them? They both openly threw him under the bus in front of the national media. They gave the media exactly what they wanted. That's like a lob question. The media usually knows they're gonna dust that one off. Like, man, whatever. I'm not giving you that clip. You know what I mean?
They had the time today.
They both gave him the clip. They both blamed him. Like Ben Simmons, Embiid openly said, like, when Ben passed on that dunk, you know what I mean? Like he called it out. Like, yeah, Ben passed on that dunk.
And we got one free throw out of it.
They asked your coach, do you think that's your fucking
cornerstone player,
max player point guard can be a championship point guard? He's like, I can't answer that question for you right now. What? You're supposed to lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to lie even if you don't believe it. That's how you know, like, that locker room.
Smear campaign before the trade.
It's over.
Danny Green also said something too. Danny Green said something about his personality and
like his personality doesn't seem somebody like he's comfortable easy.
Yeah,
like he gets comfortable with what he's in his own skin. Like he's not trying to develop. I seen that quote.
So
he's not trying to develop. He keeps his family around him.
Like I seen that one too. I seen like he's coddled by his family.
I feel like that's part of the smear. Like I don't want to say it's smearing, but in a sense it is. Like that's like usually we see this with older superstars. Like before a superstar or a star gets traded, but like the smear campaign before this.
I don't usually think the franchise that wants to trade you smears you. I think they smear you when you try to force your way out and shit like that. So I think that Philly is just being honest, because this is kind of shit we heard Ben Simmons' whole career. Yeah. Like even at LSU, this was kind of a knock on him, that he was like mad, like lethargic, and didn't really seem very passionate about things. And
this is like a situation. It's like where like a relationship was like where your significant other say, "Yo, I'm gonna change. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna change. We're gonna make this work. We're going to get that ring. We have a change to get the ring."
4 years later, he's still averaging 11, 8, and 7.
Still ain't shit. Like, he's still forgetting to pick you up from work.
It's just weird.
Still doing all the things he's fucking up at. Ben Simmons is a piece of shit boyfriend, man.
It's just weird that Dwight Howard is the only one that's
defending him. But doesn't that make sense?
I don't want to say what I want.
You talk about two of the most ornery players in NBA history. Of course, Dwight is protecting him, bro. Of course, Dwight is protecting. Who else would know what it is to be in this spot more than Dwight?
It's just.
Yeah, like Dwight was the only one that got that kind of level of like smear. Like they slandered Dwight Howard. Post Orlando Magic.
Bad timing for Dwight.
Slander. It's been like 10 years now.
Yeah, Dwight know what it is. Never forget when he injured his tailbone. Internet had jokes for days about Dwight. Like he knows what it is to be on the wrong end of the internet. And you know what's funny? Somebody who worked for the Ringer. I forget her name. It was one of the girls.
Dwight Howard.
O'Shaughnessy.
I don't know. I can't remember. It was an old quote, and she said it, and it never made nothing ever made more sense to me. Like
it was Haley O'Shaughnessy.
An analogy when she said, "Joel Embiid is a dog. and Ben Simmons is a cat. Yo, that shit makes so much sense to me when you look at those two people, bro. Ben Simmons is 100% a cat. He's moody. He don't want to be. He is like, you can touch me when I say you can touch me. It's like, but Embiid's a dog. He's lovable. He go hard all the time. Everyone loves him. It's like certain people love cats. Everybody loves dogs.
I want to touch up, like, I know, like, a few podcasts ago, it must have been a while ago, we was talking about work ethic between Embiid and Ben Simmons, bro.
Yeah.
And I felt like Embiid, like, yeah, his personality and his work ethic, like, you know, his diet, whatever, he's still ready, like, as we've seen, he's still ready to go, torn meniscus or not, when it's go time.
Yes. I was
Ben
wrong
Simmons
about that one. I was wrong.
His work ethic is clear as day now that this man does not work on his jump shooting.
I was the one who was pro Ben Simmons, saying Ben Simmons plays with more heart. Ben Simmons cares more.
Play that back.
We could play that back. I'll play it back. Don't worry, people. I'll ether myself. I definitely said that shit, and I was wrong because at the time Ben Simmons was doing everything off of effort. Everything he did was off of effort. I never seen someone fold like this ever. Even when LeBron shit against the Mavericks in 2011, it wasn't this bad. Like,
in fact,
your man's took 5 shots in 7 fourth quarters. That is crazy.
Yeah,
disgusting.
And especially that it was just that one play that, like you said earlier,
that passing of the layup.
He's
not even a layup. Not even a layup. This man is 6'9", 6'10",
A dunk.
6'8", whatever.
And guess who was coming for the block? Trae Young. Trae Young was coming across the paint, and that's
you could tell from Matisse Thybulle's face that he wasn't expecting. He was like, but he was ready. Like, he was gonna always be ready, but he was just like, whoa,
why
like,
the fuck did you pass that?
No, that's Tobias Harris, right? Because he got fouled. Tobias like, yo,
yeah,
what the fuck was that?
That's gonna be the lasting image for Ben Simmons in Philly. That's why he can't play there ever again, bro. He can't. Like, Philly fans don't forget shit like that. They will throw a entirely fully loaded hot dog with all the works, fucking sauerkraut, all that shit straight in his face.
Yo, come on, man. That's a hot dog, man.
They don't care.
If Philly fans throwing the glizzy at Ben Simmons, man, that's crazy, son.
They throwing glizzy?
Where's Shot Glizzy?
Loaded.
Where's Shot Glizzy from?
Come on, man. He's from Maryland.
Oh, all right. I thought he was from Philly. I was trying to make a point. You see me get mad strong. Where's Shot Glizzy from? Nigga say, he from DC. What you trying to say, nigga?
Like, whoa.
I thought I had one. But all right. So clearly, well, we all agree Ben Simmons won't be in Philly sooner than later. Where do you think he ends up? Everybody give one, just one. We don't need to do the whole. We got shit to get to. If you had one spot that Ben Simmons is going to wind up in, where would it be?
Shanghai
Sharks.
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao.
That's fucked up.
Motherfuckers saying Guangdong Tigers. Real. Do you really think he'll end up in China?
Nah, that's excessive. Go back to Australia. But in the real sense, I think we was touching up on it earlier. I like the idea of Orlando.
Yeah, and I think like the thought process over sending him to a bad team is just for him to work out the kinks in his game.
My thing is, for Ben Simmons, he doesn't need a bad team to go to work out the kinks. He needs a small market team to go to work out the kinks. Like, he needs to go on a team where there's no national televised games, nobody under the microscope to watch you, nobody cares, because you could work on your game there. Markelle Fultz, before the injury, he was starting to get back into rhythm in Orlando. Like, shit was starting to get back in the rhythm from a nigga who forgot how to shoot.
Yeah. And
so for a guy who refuses to shoot.
And he was the undisputed number 1 pick when he came out.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz. No one even argued with it.
Yeah, that's a fact. So it's like, you have to go to a small market team where there's no NBA TV games, no TNT, nothing. Just to play basketball.
And Orlando,
not be criticized.
Orlando will be a dope spot too, because I heard that they're looking into bringing Penny in as the head coach for the Magic. And who better to teach you to be a big guard than
one of the best big guards.
At least the second best big guard.
Besides Magic?
Yeah, Magic is the best. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I would say Penny's probably the second. And I mean big guard, I'm saying 6'5" and above type guards, you know.
No love for the big O? I'm just throwing names out there, man.
That nigga played during civil rights, though.
You better than CP, man.
Don't J.K. count as a big guard?
Who?
J.K. don't count as a big guard?
I said above 6'5". 6'5" and above. Yeah. Jason, but he's technically a big guard. 6'5" is big for a guard.
Because his frame is big, though, right?
Aki. Russ, too.
Yeah, Aki.
Jason Kidd and I'm going to get on a tangent, but Jason Kidd and Russ are very similar players. And athleticism, build, all that type of shit. But, okay, so Ant went Orlando. Josh, where's your...
See, I'm going another route. Like, I get the bad team thing, but I feel like Philly was gonna try to trade for people who could help them win now. So, I mean, this is a bad team, but you got a win now player, Fox, going to the Kings.
The Kings?
So he really going to see? Yeah, that's a good pickup. Sacramento's ass enough to nobody cares. You can hoop.
Yeah, that's like a medium small market.
I mean, but they got another draft bust with them. Well, Ben Simmons not a draft bust, but they got the ultimate. They got the ultimate draft bust of the last couple years.
Bagley,
absolutely.
But he wants out. I don't think he's even.
His pops wants him out. Bagley hasn't said a word. His father's been doing all the talking.
And that is another thing that we need to talk about. This generation of players, their parents are just like being their voices all the time. It's really weird. Y'all grown men.
Like, I get that. Like, if you were a teenage athlete, like I get like Serena Williams, Venus Williams, like their pops was there, like they're teenage girls type shit. Like these are grown ass men now. You can make your own decision. And I get that you're a parent, you love your kid, blah 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 blah. But hoop up, Marvin Bagley, hoop the fuck up.
I think the Kings would be a good spot for Ben too.
Yes,
that fan base will love him.
And they got shooters. They got shooters out there for him. He just.
But Buddy don't want to be there either. Nobody wants to be there.
Nobody. The entire roster wants to leave.
Oh, nobody likes Luke Walton. Nobody likes
Luke Walton's an overrated coach. Like, that's the perfect place to send Ben Simmons.
Luke Walton is white privilege. I keep saying it, bro. He has not been good at any stop that he has made, bro. The Lakers despised him. The Warriors, he coached a fucking Goliath. He came to the Kings and have shit the bed every year since he's been there. His players don't like him. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why he keep getting chances. I do get it, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, stop letting this guy coach. There's mad good coaches waiting for a job. Hire Sam Cassell.
When your father's a legend, you got connects for life, man.
Dad had 2 good NBA seasons.
Hey, man. Hey, when it comes to white basketball players, that is a legend amongst them niggas.
He is on Mount Caucasus of white basketball players.
Mount Caucasus.
He's on Mount Caucasus. Him, Larry Bird, Rick Barry.
Luka now.
Luka, they don't
Dirk,
count.
Nah, I'm gonna do Dirk. They don't count foreigners, right?
They don't count Europeans as white in America.
Yo, you know how crazy it is as white people, son? No offense to all the white listeners out there. How they white too?
Yeah. I think That's
crazy.
John Stockton or Dave Cowens or one of them dudes would have to have the 4th spot on Mount Caucasus.
John Stockton in there. Niggas love John Stockton, bro.
Yeah. John Stockton don't believe in COVID. John Stockton.
I don't think anybody in Utah believes in fucking COVID, bro.
Okay, so Josh said Sacramento. Ant said Orlando. I'm surprised nobody said Portland. I know we didn't get
on. I was saving that one for you.
Oh, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I really want to come to the Knicks, but you know what I'm saying? But I do think that fuck you, bitch. I mean, ew.
Ben Simmons to the Knicks?
No, I meant Dame.
No. Oh, I'm about to say, ew, nigga, don't do that.
No, but it just makes the most sense, right? Don't it? I just feel like it's the most like ready to be made today trade.
Dame and Embiid together though. Tough.
Philly would be nuts to pass on Harden, to lose out on Harden and Dame in back-to-back off seasons. Like they got to tear that whole front office out if that was to happen. You know what I mean? And I think the Harden, like, I'm not
Elton Brand in there. That's Elton Brand, right?
Yeah, and Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is the president. Elton Brand's GM. Mm-hmm. But I do think that they were going to trade for Harden, but I think that the Houston GM was not fucking with Daryl at all. It was like, I will not be giving you James Harden. I think that's pretty much how that went down. Because if you know, and Daryl Morey wanted James Harden, he's his favorite player ever. Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? So I think that's what happened. So I would see Philly being extra aggressive to try to get Dame.